Welcome to our Fixing Disney Star Wars Episode 7 Legacy Cut overview. Thanks for joining us. In this video, we're going to go over some of the edits we're making to the film, as well as provide our justification for why these edits need to be made. We hope this edit isn't taken as a sign of disrespect to those who worked on the film, but is instead seen as a response to a number of issues that fans have had with this film specifically. So, let's get to it. At the opening of the film, when Lore Santeca says, "This will begin to make things right," many fans took this line of dialogue as a shot at the prequels, serving to inform the viewers that this new film would potentially correct the errors of the prequel trilogy. And while it's true that the prequel trilogy wasn't well received initially, it has since grown to be loved by a big component of the fan base, and many fans now cite Revenge of the Sith as the second best Star Wars film, only after The Empire Strikes Back. With that in mind, we're changing the dialogue here in this scene to, quote, "This is all we could find." This line helps in two ways. It removes the perceived shot at the prequel trilogy, and it makes it look as if Luke simply didn't leave a map to him, but instead, it seems as if people have been seeking him out. This map is the culmination of many people working tirelessly to locate Luke because the Jedi are needed once again. This also helps the story in that it makes no sense for Luke to leave a map to his whereabouts when in the next film, Luke says that he came to the most unfindable place he could. Why would Luke leave a map to his location if he doesn't want to be found? This type of issue is likely due to the lack of plan for this trilogy, which is made far more apparent when viewing these films now that the trilogy is completed. Our next big edit here is the removal of Poe's lines to Kylo Ren. Poe's "who talks first" bit is entertaining to watch, but we're sold over the course of these three films that Poe is one of the best, if not the best pilot in the Resistance. And he's supposed to be looked up to, and he's a well-respected leader within the Resistance. But his first words to one of the leaders of the First Order is to make a joke? These lines don't fit Poe's character as we know him throughout the trilogy. So, instead, we've removed these lines and allowed Ren to stare at Poe for a few moments before stating, "The old man gave it to you, search him." This edit now shows Poe to be the strong silent type in the face of opposition, not willing to give up anything to the First Order. It also allows the audience to focus more on Ren's use of the Force to determine what Poe knows. Moving on, we come to the scene where Finn has pulled Poe aside to ask about his ability to fly a TIE fighter. Poe's quote, "We're gonna do this" line has been removed here, and instead we just simply show a hopeful grin which then cuts to Finn escorting Poe in the TIE docking bay. This is an important cut because we don't need to hear Poe's line. The look on his face sells what his intentions and his actions will be. And this is a common problem in the Disney sequel trilogy. There are a lot of lines and a lot of unnecessary exposition. In some cases, there's too much exposition on some subjects, but not enough on the more important subjects. We're looking at you, Rise of Skywalker. Continuing with this edit, we see Finn escorting Poe. We've removed Finn's quote, stay calm, I'm talking to myself" line. One of the things the sequel trilogy tries to do, quite often in fact, is sell Finn as a sort of bumbling comedic sidekick. And this is a shame, because the origins of Finn's story, a stormtrooper that defects from the First Order, is arguably the most interesting basis for any character in the sequel trilogy. But unfortunately for Finn, this isn't really explored. Still, the removal of these lines here presents Finn as a confident, less unsure individual. This is important because Finn is clearly a decisive individual with a strong moral compass. He refused to kill innocent civilians on Jakku, and he's unwilling to continue in an organization that is in conflict with his own ethical stances. So, if Finn is such a confident and decisive individual based solely on his actions, Why is he showing such doubt and fear in this scene? This line makes no sense when compared to his actions, so we've simply edited it out. It's likely the screenwriters, or J.J. Abrams, added this type of dialogue to Finn throughout the majority of the film simply for comedic effect. Well, that's all for our first episode and our overview of our Episode 7 Legacy Cut. We hope you've enjoyed our thought processes here. Please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. We answer comments and questions as often as possible, so please let us know what your thoughts are. Until next time, may the Force be with you.